Rebecca Bryan, and welcome to another moment in time. I am delighted to be transported back to the Edwardian area for an afternoon tea here at beautiful Lairland Farmhouse. We have Mrs. Bobby Caslow, Mrs. Sylvia Hall, and of course Mrs. Benita Rulo. As you can see, these ladies are attired in beautiful Edwardian gowns and hats. It's just a gorgeous representation of a beautiful period of time in terms of fashion. Benita, explain to us about the Edwardian era. I know it came after the Victorian era.
The period that's called Edwardian era is really the time that Bertie took the throne after his mother died. Victoria died, and he took the name Edward VII. His wife was Alexandria of Denmark, and they, instead of the somber, straight-laced attitude that was in the royal court under Victoria, and therefore it also permeated the British society, Edward and Alexandria were fun-loving, party-going, delightful people who entertained constantly and enjoyed a lot of freedom that the Victorian era did not have. One of the things that is noted about that is the change in dresses. Women wore things that were much more comfortable, particularly for an afternoon tea, when they could relax, have a hot pot of tea, some little sandwiches, some nice little sweets, and engage in gossip.
Gossip? No.
Oh, yes. The Edwardians were noted for their gossip. Some of the gentlemen in the Edwardian days lived rather risque lives, but we won't go into that this afternoon. Are you ready for tea, ladies?
Yes, please.
Ms. Hanson, will you serve the tea?
Ms. Christy Henson is the servant. She is the maid, and she will serve the tea and also serve the scones or the little eateries that they will have with their afternoon tea. And as you can see, their dresses are still very demure. They're very proper, but if you compare them to pictures taken during the Victorian period, they certainly look like you could actually breathe and be comfortable in them. So we have our tea. Benita, what else will the ladies enjoy?
And a full afternoon tea is actually 3 courses. The first is a savory course, and they are going to have cucumber sandwiches, cucumber canopies, egg salad canopies, chicken salad, and cheese sandwiches. These recipes are authentic from the Edwardian period. In fact, we have scoured cookbooks to make sure that we're doing this correctly. The second course is the scones course, and we're going to skip that today. But scones are a sweet biscuit, very rich, made with cream and pure butter, and then served with jam and butter. The final course are the sweets. And no Edwardian tea is complete without lemon tassies, Scottish shortbread, thumbprint cookies, which the English call biscuits, they don't say cookies, truffles, and probably chocolate-covered strawberries. We don't have all of that today.
Benita, what time of day would the afternoon tea be served? Because I think our impression, our perception in America is a little bit different than what they had in England.
The upper class English day started about 9:30 or 10 in the morning. The ladies would get up and their personal maids would help them dress. Then they would have a light breakfast to sustain them through the morning's activities, which were like arranging flowers, getting ready for a tennis match, or to play croquet on lawn, watch horseback riding, and or watch their gentlemen do fox hunting. The afternoon tea was usually about 4:30 or 5 o'clock in the evening. And it was really started by Alexandria, King Edward's wife, because she would get a little peckish waiting for the formal dinner, which would start about 9 o'clock at night. And so she asked her maid to bring her some bread and butter to her big quarters. And that started the afternoon tea.
Ladies, may I ask, at this point, you're at the afternoon tea, how many changes of dress might you have already gone through at this point of the day? Because you change first when you first get up in the morning.
When you first get up in the morning, you would put on a day dress. And that would be suitable to do a little gardening, trim your roses, collect flowers for bouquet, check your mail, talk with your staff about their duties for the day. Then if you're going out for tennis or for riding or to visit other people, you would of course change into a riding habit or a walking suit, which would be appropriate to meet your friends. You would come back home, freshen up, put on your tea dresses for your afternoon tea. But then after your tea, you would then go to your bedroom or your bed chambers and change again for the evening meal. Now, if you enjoy watching Downton Abbey on television, you know that the ladies for dinner dressed opulently with all their finery, their fine jewelry, their long gloves, and the dinner could last for hours. By that time, they go exhausted to bed to get ready for the next morning.
Well, mentioning Downton Abbey, that is one of my favorite programs on public television. I fell in love with it. I bought a book about Highclere Castle, learned about the Carnamans. It's just a fascinating, wonderful, delicious storyline. I absolutely adore it. And I understand that you're going to be having an Edwardian tea in the Downton Abbey fashion in June on 2 different days,
Yes.
correct?
On June the 6th and next Saturday on June the 13th. And reservations are still available, although seating is limited. I can only seat a maximum of 30 people here on the porch. So if you'd like to join either one of those days, I would recommend that you get in touch with me as quickly as possible. The cost is $25 per person. You can reach me at area code 931-363-2205.
And Benita, this is a ladies only because this is an afternoon tea and that is designed for ladies.
Yes, it
correct?
really is designed for the ladies.
Now, what do I do if I want a beautiful hat like these ladies are wearing? Because honestly, I don't have one. I have a baseball hat, that's all I have. I don't think it'll match.
Well, you're in luck. Mrs. Sylvia Hall, her business is Hall's Emporium, and Sylvia's Emporium, and she makes and sells beautiful hats, similar to the ones we're wearing today. And she can make, on enough notice, she can make a hat to match your gown.
We'll have some on display here on
Yes.
the 6th.
Oh, wonderful. All right. Now, in the event that I choose not to wear a gown, will I still be allowed to enjoy tea?
You may just come and dress comfortably.
But no
If
flip-flops
you
and
want
tank
to,
tops,
if
please.
you want to wear a hat, that's fine, but it's not a requirement. We're going to have a good time. We have a wonderful speaker from Chester, England, Mr. Derek Smith, who will regale you with tales about the Edwardian area and how those customs carry on into modern English society. Mr. Smith has traveled widely, not only in Great Britain, but throughout Europe and even Asia and South America and the United States. And he has met a lot of interesting people over the years. You might be able to persuade him to share a few of his encounters with members of the royal family.
Oh my.
So I can't make a promise, but we can try.
I'm an Anglophile, I admit it. I am an Anglophile.
And we're going to have a couple of young ladies who will be playing croquet on the front lawn.
Just as they would have done.
And just
In
as
the
they
true
would have
Edwardian.
done in Edwardian days. That's right.
Wonderful. Well, I really am looking forward to it. I'm very excited. Now, will Mr. Smith be here on both the 6th and the 13th?
Yes, he will.
Wonderful. Okay. All right. That's good to know. Very good to know.
He's a house guest of Dr. and Mrs. Caslow, who own Rattling Stack.
Which is another beautiful story in Murray County, but it is a beautiful, beautiful home. It's just a stellar example of historic preservation. You have to really love what you're doing to bring something and keep it preserved. It's just it's a labor of love. It truly is. So we thank the
All
Castles
of
in
these
advance.
old houses are labor of love.
All of them are. They absolutely are. Well, thank you very much for inviting us over here to talk about the Edwardian tea. We will let you ladies proceed. We really do appreciate your time. Thank you so much. We look forward to seeing you again on another moment in time.
Thank you.